One, two, three. Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of the Ultracrepidarians podcast. This is a podcast where me and Kaylee, say hi Kaylee.
Hi.
Talk about whatever we want. Today we're just going to kind of catch each other up so that we can get to know each other and you can get to know us.
Connor, you say that like we don't know each other.
Well, I don't know. You haven't told me anything important in the last week.
I know. I've been saving it for the podcast.
Yeah, you've been saying it for the podcast.
I know. Actually, there's some details that I can't tell you on the podcast.
Right.
But I have to relay most of it. Okay, so let's jump into it. We are, unfortunately, college students.
Ew, school.
And we just had a fall break. Connor, how was your fall break?
It was really good. I didn't go anywhere, but, I didn't go anywhere, like, large for, like, as a vacation. There was one day where I went to Zion, so that was cool. But then other than that, I stayed here. And so after the break, everyone was like, yeah, I went to Disneyland. Like, I know you went to Disneyland.
No. Yeah,
and everyone's like, yeah, I went to Disneyland. I went here. I went back home. And I'm like, dang. I cried because I was still in town.
I saw you posting on your little story. You were like, on your Instagram story, you posed and stuff. It's cute.
Yeah. It was way too early in the morning. We went to Zion before the sunrise so we could see the sunrise while we were there. So it was like 7 in the morning when I posted that. And I was like, I'm too lazy to do like an actual post. So I just added to my story.
Okay, that's fair. Was it worth it?
Going in early in the morning?
Yeah.
I think it was very worth it. Okay. Because when we were leaving, we left around noon and there was a massive line to get into the park. And while we were driving by, we just kept laughing. The more cars showed up, we were like, oh, you're going to be in that line for like at least an hour. We got in 10 minutes max.
That's crazy.
But like half of it is closed. Half of it is closed from like mudslides and stuff.
Oh yeah, because we just had like monsoon season. Mm-hmm. I didn't think about how that would affect Zion at all, honestly.
Like half the hikes are closed. So we went like 3 options. We were like, okay, let's go here. No, it's closed. Let's go here. No, it's closed. Let's go here. You need a permit. Okay, then let's go to the one open spot that we know of. It was a lot of work for like 7, 8 in the morning.
I was going to say, that sounds like a headache.
Speaking of trips, how was Disneyland?
Disneyland was freaking great. Already right out the bat. Disneyland was good. It was kind of crowded, but it wasn't too bad. Like, we were able to get on a couple of rides. We rode all the rides we wanted to, which...
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we're the kind of family that we're in the car and we're like, pick a ride. That's the one ride we have to do today.
Yeah, any of the Disneys, you have to go with a plan already set. You can't go there and be like, we'll do whatever we come up with on the fly. You can't do that because then you're not going to do anything.
Well, you can if you're like a pass holder and you're just going for like an evening. That's what my mom and I used to do.
You got to be rich. You got to be rich.
We're not. Well, I'm not going to say we're not rich. We are not rich, but my mom and I used to do this thing because our passes are only $25 a month because we're Southern Californian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Locals.
Yeah, locals. But yeah, we have the Southern California passes, which are now like the Enchant Keys or something dumb like that.
Enchant Keys?
Yeah, like they're keys now.
They change the name like every 2 years.
I know.
Which is crazy because they don't want to have it Fast Pass because they like technically closed down the Fast Pass program years ago. Mm-hmm. But then they introduced like Lightning Pass and stuff, and I'm like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's slightly different. It's
you pay for it.
Keys. And I'm like, no.
You pay a little bit more for it, and we're going to put a sparkly little title on it. That's all it is. They're just trying to get more money out of park goers.
Yeah, and it's working.
I know, that's the annoying part. But also the annoying part is when we get the Genie Pass some days, it's not even worth it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, we'll get it some days. Like, we'll pay some days. It depends on what day you go, because sometimes it'll be like 25 and sometimes it'll be like 35. So like we'll go and we'll get it on like cheaper days, but like sometimes like you have to wait like 2-3 hours before you can go use your lightning lane.
Oh yeah, because whenever I go to Disney World, not Disneyland, so I don't know if it's different.
Florida man.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's not my fault we're better.
You are arguably not better.
What do you mean? Disney World is 100% better than Disneyland.
Oh, we're talking about Disney World. I thought we were talking about states.
No. No, Florida's worse in every way. No, but Disney World is, I don't know if it's different or not, but some lightning lanes don't cost money. And so, but it has like 2 open windows a day. And if you don't get your ticket then, you don't get it at all.
Are you thinking of like the queues for like the big rides?
Like the virtual queues?
Yeah.
Is that not lightning lane?
No.
Oh.
I mean, that's what they used to kind of like, it was like kind of like a soft launch of Lightning Lane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but not really. Lightning Lane, you have to pay for it, but like you can pick what ride you go. You can pick any rides, but some rides you have to pay for like, so like Rise of the Resistance, you have to pay like 10 extra bucks to get a Lightning Lane pass, which at that point is stupid.
If you've already bought it?
Yeah. Right? That's what my mom and I said. We were like, no way.
That you've already spent money.
I know. It's either we'll get the Lightning Lane or we'll get the Genie Plus for all day, or we'll get Genie Plus for one ride. There's no in between. Okay. We're not doing both. Yeah. It depends on the day.
So is that the thing where you can have one ride in your virtual queue at all times?
Yeah.
And then just come back whenever after you've reached the time limit?
Yeah. So like if I was going to go get one for Indiana Jones and it said my time slot is until like noon and it's 10 a.m., I have that time slot. I have to wait until noon to go into the line. But then I have to wait in that Lightning Lane line to get into the ride. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of stupid.
It was good in concept, but then everybody did it, and so the line just moved lanes.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Because when I go, I find sometimes the regular line is shorter than Lightning Lane.
Yeah, but what I find is that they'll do like 100 Lightning Lanes and then like 1 regular.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'll prioritize Lightning Lane over regular line, which is stupid.
Yeah, see, at that point, they're just like, you have to pay more money to get a good experience.
Yeah.
Because we're only focusing on the people who spend the most money.
Episode 1 and we're already trashing Disney. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, this is...
It's a great launch
bring
pad.
Us down.
Our brand is really looking good right now.
Oh, gosh.
Banging on like the biggest corporate head right now. Right.
It's okay. We're not alone. Literally everyone does it.
Literally everybody's mad at Disney right now.
They still go to Disney to buy a bunch of stuff.
Actually, I didn't buy anything when I was there. The only thing I bought was food. Than me. I got food.
Gosh, every time I go to a theme park, not even just Disney, like Universal or something, I just like feel the need to buy something.
I will say when I go to Epcot, I'm getting a pair of those Remy ears, those little rat ears.
Yeah, because they have the Ratatouille right now.
Yeah.
I haven't been on it.
I thought your hand on the reflection was a person. Okay. So let's move on to our next topic. So Connor and I started this podcast when we were talking about our love lives.
Oh.
It was literally us just talking about our love lives and talking about where we were at in our love lives.
Yeah.
Like about what, like 2 months ago? A month or 2 ago?
Yeah, about I would say like a month and a half ago now.
Yeah. Although when this comes out, it might be like 2 months.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we were talking about our love lives like a month and a half ago. And that's what sparked this idea, was because we just kept going off on each other.
We just kept interrupting each other.
And we kept
there was no pause. We just kept talking. And you said like under your breath really quickly, like it would be so fun to have a podcast. And then it was like a joke for like maybe 5 seconds.
And now it's real. So on that note, there has been a player in my love life that Connor has not been rooting for. And I'm here to tell Connor that player is now out of the runnings.
Yes! I put my money on the right horse.
Actually, no, you didn't, because this horse came out of left field.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This
I've
new
heard
horse?
very little about him. But.
Yeah, because I wanted... well, I'm not going to go full detail right now, but I need to tell you this. So I met this guy on a dating app.
No.
I met this guy on
a dating app.
I know. My mom's going to be so mad at me. She always told me not to get them, so she doesn't know I have any.
I'm kind of on her side.
Well, I was about to delete it too, and then I met this guy, so I'm glad I didn't. But
dang, he's pulling you back in.
I'm going to delete it now, actually.
Is he pulling you back in, or is he taking you out?
He's taking me out.
Now you've found him, and you're like, I don't need this dating app anymore.
Hinge, out the door.
Is Hinge the dating app where girls reply first, or?
No, I don't know which one that is.
I don't know.
That scares me.
I don't know.
As a woman, that scares me.
I don't know a lot about dating apps, but I know one of them is really popular right now because girls message first.
Oh.
And so, like, there's not a bunch of creepy dudes in the DMs and stuff. But then also, I think people are missing out. there's also going to be creepy women in the DMs. So, like, it goes both ways.
Yeah, I think people forget that women can be creepy too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a little kooky. I'm a little quirky.
Just let everyone message first.
Yeah, I think it's weird to. I mean, I get the idea. I do, but also then it's like further stigmatizing men in an already very politically tense,
right,
socially tense time. Anyways, so I met this man on a dating app. He called me a couple nights ago on Tuesday, right before our night shoot, because Connor and I are in film class.
Yeah. We're film students, by the way.
Oh yeah, we do film. I'm also a theater student. But before our night shoot on Tuesday, he called me because I had a 10-minute gap before the shoot, and he was like, 10 minutes isn't enough time for me. I was like, oh, I'm swooning. No, I'm not.
I was like, if you're swooning over that, he has got the easiest path to set before him.
Have you seen my dating history? We're not going to get into that. And I was like, yeah, I think my mom sent you actually to come and snatch me by the scruff of my neck because I was in my SL.
Can you imagine just like dating bounty hunters and like your mom just pays a guy like, hey, you need to find this account on Hinge, match with it, and make yourself likable enough that she deletes the app.
I'm laughing, but that sounds like something my mom would do. Like if she really liked a guy, she would be like, I'm gonna pay you $20 to go do this.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of dads who have like teenage girls, they'd get behind that concept.
Oh.
Like bounty hunters to just like
date,
stop them from dating.
to ruin their daughter's dating life. That sounds like a dad thing.
I would do that. I mean, I'm not saying I have the money for it, but if I did.
Let me get to the point of this. And we can come back to this, okay?
Right.
So the point of this was on that phone call, I made a joke about how I was in my SLUT era. I was like, yeah, my mom saw that I was in my SLUT era. Oh. And he got really silent for a moment. And then I was like, ha, that was a joke. And then I laid awake.
You just gotta, like, you gotta get past that silent awkwardness.
I laid awake in my bed that night, like thinking to myself,
just thinking, like, was that cool? Was that lame? Did he like that? I don't know.
He's gonna think I'm a player.
Oh,
I got so worried. I got so sweaty. Newsflash: he just was moving stuff in his room. He wasn't listening to me in that moment.
Oh well.
I told him about it after. I was like, I laid awake at night thinking about it, and he was like, I didn't even know you said that.
Lucky on multiple accounts.
Anyways.
But also, like, in his defense, even if he did hear it, what are you going to say to that?
Like, oh, cool.
Like, oh, yeah. I've been in every steady relationship. I've never, I don't know what that's like.
Imagine he's like, you got issues. I could fix you.
Oh, man. That would have, if he did that, we would not be talking about him today.
No, he would have been blocked. He would have been immediately blocked. It was just funny.
And Hinge would still be downloaded.
So Hinge would still be on my phone.
Okay. I also went swimming during fall break, and I haven't swam in a while. Mm-hmm. Like, I probably hadn't swam until, like, beginning of summer. Because my summer was really busy this last year. Mm-hmm. So, going to a pool, it was like, that was one of the days where it was relatively cool here. And I don't know, even just going in the pool, I was like, guys, I'm in heaven right now. I can't, I just like, there were so many moments, because I was swimming with multiple people. We were all just hanging out. And while I was swimming, I just like zoned out, just feeling myself in the water. I was like, yeah, this is amazing. I'm a mermaid.
I'm a mermaid.
Do you ever play mermaids as a kid when you were swimming in the pool?
Yes. Are you joking every time?
Growing up with multiple sisters and only one brother who is 10 years older than me.
Oh.
I hung out with my sisters a lot.
That explains so much about you, actually.
So by the time I hung out with most guys in like middle school and high school, all the girls are in the corner talking about playing mermaids in the pool, and I would just jump into their conversation. And when I would come back to all the guys, they would just look at me like, dude, what was that just now? Like, what happened? I'm like, you guys didn't play mermaids in the pool as a kid? They're like, no. And I'm like, dang, that's lame.
It was like you know those like magical girl transformations and like the animes.
I just like start spinning and a tail starts growing from my waist down.
You like get a whole outfit, you get coconut bra and everything.
Oh my gosh, I didn't do that. But I did see the kids with the fake mermaid tails where you would slide both legs in.
Yeah.
I always thought that was the coolest thing.
I wanted one so bad.
Yeah, I think everyone did because it was just like one step closer to being a fish.
One step. Have you thought about being a fish?
I've thought about being a fish and a bird. Dude, okay.
Okay.
If I
elaborate.
can be completely honest, sky, land, sea, out of all three, land loses every time. No matter what, land loses. Sky and sea are just better.
What about space?
Instantly. Space? Okay. Space is like the ocean, but without water.
Yeah.
So I also love it. But like what animals in space? There's not. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I want to be an alien. No, because there's no animals out there. But like to be a bird, to fly around in the sky, to be a fish, to just live underwater. Yeah, land is bad. Would you? Okay. Would you rather be a bird or a fish?
I think I'd rather be a bird.
Really?
I think it'd be sick to be a bird. Are you kidding me? You just get to hang around and fly over Disneyland. You could just go to Disneyland whenever you wanted.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
You never have to pay for it. You go anywhere you want. You don't have to pay for any of it.
You know what else birds can do?
What?
They can poop anywhere they want.
Oh yeah.
Think about the fact that you're a bird, but if you see someone that you're like, yeah, they're a jerk, you just poop on them. Birds don't realize how much power they have. Or maybe they do.
I think they do, and I think that's why they're so nonchalant to humans. It's like you puny humans worrying about taxes.
Because there's some birds that you get close to them and they will fly away instantly. They're so scared. But the birds that are used to humans being around,
like pigeons,
they will just like stroll up to you, look you in the eye, and take your food. And they're like, "What are you going to do about it?" I'm going to tell you what you're going to do about it. Nothing, because you can't do anything about it.
Because then you kill an animal, and then you're heartless.
And yeah, exactly.
And you look like a mean person.
Right. The turkeys in Zion, they're
So aggressive.
so used to people where one of them, don't tell anyone who works at Zion this, but we fed a turkey.
You're going to get banned from Zion for forever.
But, well, I didn't feed him.
So you're not.
But a guy I was hanging out with fed him. And here's the worst part. He had one snack in his backpack, and it was Cheez-Its. So when he ran up to me and he said, Connor, I just fed a turkey, and it was awesome. I was like, wait a minute. What did you feed it with? And he's like, the Cheez-Its. And I'm like, you fed a turkey Cheez-Its? So the whole time, I was just waiting for a turkey with like the cheese around its beak to just come bolting at us, wanting more.
You got a turkey and cheddar sandwich right there.
That is not what that is. Just get bread and start running after the turkeys.
Just smash its head between the bread. There you go.
I never realized what turkey, like, I never thought about
what
turkey
that turkey meat
like,
is turkey?
Yeah, that it's just what it looks like before it's on a sandwich.
You mean like an animal?
Just like seeing a turkey.
Oh.
And just saying, yeah, that I've ate that before. Because I mean, you have it at Thanksgiving and stuff.
Like while it's still alive?
Yeah.
You do the same thing when you look at a cow.
No, but I know. But I like while I'm having a hamburger, I know it's a cow. But like if I'm just eating a like turkey meat on my sandwich, I'm not thinking, dang, this was a bird.
I think about it every time. It freaks me out.
Really?
It's why I had to stop eating sandwiches for a minute. It's because every time I was eating them, I'd always have turkey, and I was like, "This was an animal. This was a bird. It had wings."
You could just move to chicken, but I guess that really isn't solving the problem.
Well,
it's just changing the subject.
I have this thing where I'm kind of mean to chicken. I'm like, yeah, they're meant to die.
I mean, have you seen some of the chickens on the farm? They don't look.
They're not too.
They don't
bright.
look like they can survive in the wild.
I don't think they know their ABCs. Okay.
I think chickens are just the farm version of a dodo bird.
Oh my god! I think you're on.
Where where you just see a chicken and you know there's nothing behind those eyes.
Nothing
they're not thinking anything right now.
No, they're so stupid. They're so silly, stupid.
The 2000s movie Chicken Run. It's a lie. They don't think about anything. Chicken Run was a crazy movie.
Yeah.
Because that was in the era where they were doing clay animation.
Yeah.
There's like none of that now. But I mean, there was like Chicken Run. There was Wallace and Gromit. If you watched Wallace and Gromit as a kid, you had the best childhood. Have you watched Wallace and
Yes,
Gromit? Okay.
I love it. I always think about the animation with his coffee. Like, I know it's coffee, but in my brain, it tastes differently than coffee does.
I always remember the one where they went to the moon because it was cheese. And like in that one, it was actually cheese.
I don't think I've seen that one.
So Wallace is the guy, right? Gromit's the dog?
Gromit's a dog.
Yeah. So Wallace is obsessed with cheese.
Oh.
And he just hears one day that like the moon is made of cheese. He reads it on like a news article or something, like on a newspaper. And he builds like in his backyard or under his house or something. Him and Gromit build a rocket just to go to the moon and have a picnic on it and eat some of the moon cheese.
To steal the moon.
Dude, bald guy builds a rocket and goes to the moon.
It's a reoccurring theme.
I think Despicable Me stole that plot from Wallace and Gromit.
Have you seen the thing where it's like we see this like same 30-something stories over and over again?
Yeah.
That freaks me out because
where
it's
like
true.
No idea is original anymore.
Yeah. That we talk about that in our theater history class about like everybody's done it before.
Yeah. I think there's 7 base stories or like 7 templates for stories that you can base off of now. But I mean, I don't know. Like if I tell a story one way and you tell a story a different way, even if it's the same story, it's still our version of it.
Yeah. I think that's what's so beautiful about art and like the human experience in general is that we all have different experiences and we all live different lives.
Yeah. Even if it's the same story, it's a different view on it.
Yeah.
So
like I've had this thing recently where I call it becoming sentient, where I become highly aware of the fact that we're all individuals.
Becoming sentient?
Yeah. Because I'll be laying in my bed and I'll be like, everybody's laying in their own bed right now.
I always think about how other people have their POVs, like they can't see themselves. And I'm like, dang, they can see me constantly. And I can never really see me except through a mirror.
I have a crisis of like, I'm in my body. And when I see myself in the mirror, I have a little bit of a crisis where I'm like, I'm in my body. This is a body. This is not just like me being a little silly goofy.
You're just like those, like all those Freaky Friday movies where they just look in the mirror when they're in someone's body and they just move it around just to make sure. Like, is this really my body?
Is this my hand? Is this happening right now?
I just think about the fact that other people are in their bodies.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just me and my body.
Yeah.
It's everyone's in theirs.
Like, you're not an NPC. You're a sentient human.
I'm a real person.
I'm a real boy.
We all have stories. You have stories. Guys, you're not NPCs.
Yay! But yeah, I call it becoming sentient. And it's been happening way less, but it was happening pretty consistently for a while there.
Really?
Yeah, at the start of the year, I was kind of like rewiring my brain.
I need like a inspirational t-shirt that just points to whoever's reading it and says, you're not an NPC.
There's this website called Find Your Shirt or something, and they have a crop top that says, I will gaslight you.
Oh,
I need it. I need it so bad.
Does that mean, like, if that sentence, I feel like that's kind of counterintuitive, because if the shirt says, I will gaslight you, then are you gaslighting them about the fact that you'll gaslight them and you really won't?
Wait a minute. This is getting a little too meta for me. This is getting a little too meta.
You got to think about it.
You always do this thing where you make me deconstruct my mind, and it freaks me out a little bit.
I have that effect on people.
I don't want to laugh into the mic because it's just like, oh, Connor and I were talking. Okay, so we had a practice episode before this, and Connor and I were watching it in my car the other day. It just feels nice to talk to our producer, Ina, right now. We were watching the video in our car the other day, and we both were laughing so hard.
At the exact same jokes we were laughing at in the practice episode.
It was so dumb.
It was really weird to like hear a joke that I made and I laugh at it, and then in the video I laugh at myself. Like 30 seconds later I'm like, okay, well,
this guy's kind of funny.
Like you don't need to laugh at your own jokes, man. Come on.
Okay, I got kind of called out on that the other day, where I just laugh at my own jokes, or like I don't let it land.
If you laugh at your own jokes, that just means you're willing to tell jokes, you know? Like you're willing to expect that no one laughs, so you're the only one laughing.
I also know that sometimes I say that like whatever's just in my brain, like I just say it sometimes, and so like I have to laugh at it because it's a little silly, stupid. Don't yawn at me.
I'm not yawning at you.
He's yawning at me. But sometimes I say silly, stupid stuff. But I was on the phone the other night and I like said a joke and I laughed. And then the person on the phone was like, you laugh at your own jokes, like you don't let them land. And I was like, shut up. Shut up.
What do you mean? Laughing is making them
You
land.
laughed too. My laugh is hilarious because
That's
I'll
why you
laugh
gotta
and I'll
find-
hit things.
That's why you gotta find someone who laughs at just anything, even if it's not funny.
It's me.
Because then you feel like the funniest person in the world. You're like, I could do stand-up comedy.
Is that why you became friends with me? Because I laugh at everything?
I plead the fifth.
Oh, okay. That hurt a little bit.
No. That's not the reason.
It's
It's just a fun.
I don't know how we became friends, actually.
I don't know. It just happened.
just kinda
really
happened.
instantly.
I think I was bullying you in class one day, and then I was like, give me your phone number. I need it for, I forgot why I needed it.
Right.
But I just got it from you, and then
Yeah, I don't remember why you needed it.
I've never left you alone.
Because I mean, like, I don't know. We acted, seeing how we've now technically been in the same place for like a year and a half. We've known of each other for a year, and I think like our dynamic hasn't changed. Like the way we act around each other. I think it was just like a few months ago, we just started yes-anding each other, and then it just took off from there.
I think it's because you and I are like, we are the annoying, we are the annoying kids in class where we'll just say whatever we want. And
we're the unhinged people. Like,
yeah.
If something comes across our mind, we're gonna say it out loud.
Oh, you're gonna know what I'm thinking. We'll do a little sing song. Our professor. Ding.
Yeah, I don't know what this "we" is. You could do a little sing song. I'm
sing
good.
song.
Yeah,
Connor's embarrassed
You're
of
the
me.
theater major.
Oh,
not
okay.
me.
Connor actually acted in a film,
and
that's where I met you.
Yeah, that is
That's
actually
it.
where we met.
I didn't really say anything to you on that set.
Do you prefer like plays or musicals for the theater?
Oh,
Like just acting or
plays.
Like, plays, really?
Yeah. Musicals are fun, but they're like, I'm not a singer, you know? I'm not like a dancer or singer. Like, that's not me. I'm more of like an act, like not to be like, I'm an actor.
Right.
But I'm definitely more of an actor than I am a dancer and a singer. And like the show that I'm in right now, I have like a couple of dances that I have to do. Like some of them are like for TikToks we're doing for it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. We're filming those on Monday, and I only know about like half of them.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine.
This weekend is going to be fun for you.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
I had a weird phase. It was like right after COVID where I got into TikTok during COVID because I was stuck in my house.
Everybody was.
I need to do something. I need to recognize that there are other people in the world other than just in my house.
Yeah.
But then right afterwards, when we got back into school, all my friends were like, wow, you have TikTok now? We should do stuff. So I did a bunch of like TikTok dances with my friends, and I was going back the other day to watch them, and for some reason, it just unlocked all the dances in my memory. So I just started doing them in my living room, and my roommate comes down and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like,
Performing.
I am reliving the glory days.
The pandemic?
No, after the pandemic.
Oh, I remember like when, first of all, pandemic TikTok. What a time to be alive, to be on TikTok.
I think that was, I mean, I don't want to say peak because TikTok is pretty good now.
Yeah.
Because they've kind of drifted away from like the just dancing stuff and like constant, just basically Musically 2.0.
Yeah.
I don't know. You see a good TikTok from like 2020, you're like, dang.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
It's like nostalgic almost. It's like reliving your youth, even though we're still young.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing. I always tell my dad that. I feel like I'm reliving my youth whenever I go home. And he's like, you're 20. And I'm like, it doesn't matter, Dad. Okay?
I mean, I don't know. Every New Year now happens, and I'm just like, we survived another year after 2020.
There was a post on, I think it was either TikTok or Twitter. I think it was a TikTok because it was like the Star Wars format where it was like Obi-Wan, like 2017 was 3 years ago, and then you swiped and it was Darth Vader facing him off, and it was like, in a year 2017 will be 7 years ago. Isn't that crazy?
I don't like that.
We started high school 7 years ago.
Ew.
The face Connor just made.
Yeah, I think a lot of older people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I think there's been so many instances already where it just makes me feel old. Because I was going into Target the other day and I was behind, like I got stuck walking behind a massive group of teenage girls.
Oh.
I want to say tweens, but they could drive. And so I was like, how are they letting babies on the road now? Because they look so young. But I could hear the entire conversation they had. And I just felt so old because I could understand only half of their conversation. They kept using so much slang, and I was like, what are you saying right now?
They're like making secret codes. Have you heard of the skibbity doo toilet thing?
Oh, the skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet. What is up? I feel like a boomer.
I was hanging out with my nephew a few months ago.
Oh no.
And we were playing with his toys, and he says, okay, you're a skibbity toilet. And I'm a cameraman. I'm like, what? And so he explains to me, like, you're a skibbity toilet. You're like a toilet with a head in it. I'm like, okay. And you're a guy holding a camera? And he goes, no, I'm a person with a camera for a head. And I'm in a suit. And so, like, it goes on. And then he talks about, like, TV people with, like, TVs for heads, and, like, massive skibbity toilets. And I'm just thinking, he's making this whole thing up. This is crazy. Like, he's got such an imagination. And then I'm scrolling through my feed and someone says skibbity toilets. I'm like, hold on. This is real? So I look it up. It's some animated series that a guy's making.
It's a series?
Yeah, it's like
I thought it was like
it's like 2 to 3 minute long videos. There's like no dialogue, just like cameramen fighting skibbity toilets. I saw it and I was like, this is the weirdest thing. Is this what people on the internet are watching?
I think it's so funny that I didn't know it was a series. I just thought it was like a TikTok, like a weird
I did a deep
video.
dive. I did a deep dive, and when I watched it,
lore?
He had like 37 episodes.
Oh, so there is lore.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
Like,
that's more dedication than
I don't even know
Freddy's.
how many videos my nephew watched, but it was obviously a lot because he knew so much. I genuinely just thought he was pulling it out of his brain. I was like, my nephew's a genius. He has such a artistic mind. Nope, he's just quoting some weird part of the internet.
It's also funny to me that the TV heads are a thing in that series, because I remember TV heads being a real big trend on like the YouTube art scene in like 2012. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I used to be all over those animatics, or like they called them like memes, and it was like 15-second videos of like animation repeating with like dubstep in the back. That's where actually I found Glass Animals, was from one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At that point, I think people were a lot more impressed back then than now because technology has come so far.
And AI,
but
too.
Like, if you saw an old video of a person with a TV on their head and they had stuff playing on the TV while they were moving, you're like, dang, that looks so real. And like, little kids are like, that's totally real. And like, building one myself, because I did one for a film, even now, it's so... not annoying, but it takes so long to get stuff on the TV screens. So I'm like thinking back like years ago when like everyone was doing it. I'm just like, man, the dedication you have to one video.
Well, now also we have tools like Premiere where we can mask a lot easier in editing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a tool now, but there wasn't a tool back then.
Right, there wasn't a tool back then. They just...
It was either you green screened or spent like hours editing frame by frame.
Right.
And that was painful.
It was so... I did see one video, though, of a guy who got like relatively large box TV so that his head would fit in it with other stuff because he kept the screen in. And so he just powered it on and put stuff on the screen so he didn't have to do it in post. Gosh, I hope he still has that helmet.
You gotta be some kind of STEM.
That's like I would never throw that away. I'd just like, guys, watch what I can do. Put a TV on my head and then like just put on a game or something and they're just watching it. Can you imagine a Super Bowl on your face?
That's crazy. Speaking of STEM, remember how I told you once upon a time that I was supposed to be a pharmacist?
Oh, yeah.
So originally my life goal was to become a pharmacist and like settle down in Colorado and like get a house and be married by 25. And now I'm an actor. So
the American dream, just
the American dream.
have a white coat.
Actually, COVID is responsible for that.
Be in Colorado.
Be in Colorado. American dream, Colorado.
So many people want to retire to Colorado. And like, I understand why.
Yeah.
But to me, if I know that many people are going to be in Colorado by the time I retire, I'm not going to Colorado. Just because I'm like, at that point, it's not going to be
California
like something
2.0.
new.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a fad that everyone is doing.
I think I want to retire. I'm yawning into the mic. I want to retire, I think, in Oregon.
Ooh, Oregon is
This is very pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very lovely.
It's a very, I think, underrated state.
Yeah, honestly. But if you ask our friend Kelton, he'll say that it's the world.
Well, yeah, but you can never really ask people's opinion on the state they're from.
Yeah.
Because they're so biased.
Yeah. Like how you are with Florida. Actually, you hate Florida.
No, I don't hate Florida. I think Florida's great. I hate the people there.
Oh.
Because Florida, man, that trend ruined my life.
Well, you are Florida, man.
Yeah, see, exactly. That trend ruined my life because everyone's like, every time I say I'm from Florida, they just say, oh, so what's the craziest thing you've ever done? Have you wrestled a gator? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, but you're from Florida, right? I'm like, yeah. So have you done anything crazy? I'm like, not the stuff that you've seen on the internet.
Yeah. Well, my thing with Florida men is I think they're a different breed, but I also think that you guys are just like, I'm saying you guys, I'm generalizing you right now.
Yeah.
I'm like discriminating against Connor, a straight white man.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I always bully Connor. I think you guys are just like more kind of like screw it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah, I mean,
it is what it is.
If you get hurt, you get hurt.
If you die, you die. Like,
yeah,
just
it's
don't
all
die.
about having fun.
Yeah, like it's like the Hunger Games. Like, just get good, you know?
Yeah,
like just stab another child.
I don't do like nearly as crazy as stuff as the like Florida man trend people do.
Yeah.
But I will say I do have kind of that mindset where I'm like, what's fear? Like, even if I have fear, so what? It's just there to like try to stop me from doing this, and I'm not gonna let it.
Yeah, you do have that Florida man mindset.
Exactly.
You said, "What's fear?" And I went, "Oh no."
Did you ever actually participate in the Florida man trend?
No.
It was like you put in your birthday, like day, month, year.
I did.
And then Florida man.
It was a man who got arrested for breaking into a zoo and trying to like wrestle a gator. Ironically, as you just brought that up,
a gator,
you tried to break into a zoo and wrestle a gator, and then he tried to like put a hat on it or something.
Put a hat on a gator.
He wanted to put like a little flower hat on a gator.
But imagine if he pulled it off.
Were you ever a brony?
Oh, the My Little Pony?
Yeah.
No, I don't think anyone in my family really watched My Little Pony.
You don't know the power of friendship?
No. Well, I mean, I've seen things from My Little Pony because I don't know how you can live and not see some clips from My Little Pony just because it's so popular.
You're right, actually. I love My Little Pony.
Is it even still popular?
I don't know. I got embarrassing fact about Kaylee. I got super into My Little Pony in middle school for some reason. I was like, ooh, the lore.
I mean, really, like, what's the age demographic for it? Because I feel like just like visual-wise, it's going to be for younger kids. But then I heard some things about the story, and I'm like, are you sure we're talking about the same show?
The lore goes crazy. So I got into it because in middle school, they had this movie where Twilight Sparkle, who's the main horse, has a brother who's getting married to this girl. But the girl is actually being replaced by a dark pony. I don't remember the name for them, but like a dark pony that can like disguise themselves as other ponies.
An evil pony.
An evil pony. And she gets her power from like feeding off of other people's misery or something, or like happiness. I don't remember. It was something like this is definitely written for children, but the lore went hard. Like the real wife was kept like in a cave at the bottom of the castle, and she was all raggedy and starving. Whoa. And they found her, and she like had a whole.
They have a pony dungeon.
They have a pony dungeon, dude. And the crazy girl that replaced like the wife, she like had a whole duet with the wife, and it was like, for I do not love. It was like it went crazy. I'll have to show you it after the podcast, but
this is wild.
My Little Pony lore goes hard. And then it's like there was one where like there was a sun sister and a moon sister, like Equestria, and I can't remember the other one's name. Can't remember the moon princess name, but she was trapped.
I don't know, probably like Midnight something.
I think it was like something dumb, like something weird. You know, it's My Little Pony, but. So like the moon sister went evil, and then her and Equestria, which is like the sun queen or whatever. I don't remember.
Right. But
they got into.
Are they like just regular horses that are like queen, like royalty? Or
no,
are they
like they're magical.
Gods?
They're basically gods. So not every pony has magic. So it's like only if you're like a unicorn you have magic.
Oh.
Yeah, but then you can become a what is it when you're a Pegasus and a unicorn?
I think it's an alicorn.
An alicorn?
A wondercorn? A wondercorn.
That's what they called it, but
that's
I think it's
what
alicorn.
We should call it from now on.
Wondercorn. But so like the whole point of this series was for Twilight to become a alicorn / wondercorn, and I think she.
So they could just like become one.
No, they have to work. It's like Harry Potter. You have to go to like school for 7 years.
No, but they're not like born like it. They
no.
can just,
No. You have to become one.
Like they can work to grow a horn or wings.
No, you have to be born with a horn. You have to be born as a unicorn.
Well, you just said you have to work to become.
Well, no. So you have to be a unicorn, but then you can get blessed by the unicorn gods.
To have wings.
To have wings and become an alicorn.
So if you're just a regular horse,
you're screwed.
Man,
they actually were kind of classist. My Little Pony was classist because the regular horses were always like the country bumpkins, like Applejack. Is that her name? Applejack? I can't remember it. But she was
I don't know.
They made her like not stupid, but they made her like Southern, and she was just. And then Pinkie Pie was also a normal horse, and Pinkie Pie was just like stupid too. Like she was supposed to be a bimbo.
Oh,
yeah. So like they were very classist.
And we're still talking about My Little Pony, right?
Yes.
This is crazy.
This is My Little Pony, My Friendship is Magic. This is the reboot.
There was a reboot?
Well, then they rebooted it again where the ponies were like pony humans.
They're pony humans?
Now they're humans. I don't know anything about the new reboot. That's what they lost me when they made them humans, because I was like, you're taking the wonder out of it. They're not ponies. They're My Little Humans, and that's weird.
My Little Humans? That's just baby dolls at that point.
Oh, don't say it like that. My great-grandma, before she died, she had a room of like just dolls.
I feel like maybe not every old lady, but like it's a good
75% of them.
Good 75% of old women all have
baby doll
room
rooms
dedicated to baby dolls.
Isn't that so unsettling?
And like it's so sweet for them because like they grew up with the dolls, or like they repurchased dolls that they had growing up.
Yeah. Those
old dolls, to anyone other than that woman, it is the creepiest thing.
My great grandma, bless her soul, she's passed. I love her. Like I look at Grandma Dorothy and I'm like, she was an icon. She slayed. I have pictures of her on my gram.
She went to Oz.
Yeah. I have pictures of her on my gram with her in shades, like waving at me.
In shades.
In shades. She gave me a doll when I was like 8 or 9. That like somebody, like I think she had either made it or a friend had made it. But the arms, all I remember was that the arms reminded me of the Little Caesars Crazy Bread. And I just would try to bite it all the time. I would sit there and I would gnaw on this doll's arm. I would just sit there and I'd be like, why doesn't it taste like Crazy Bread?
I feel like that makes you creepier than the doll.
No, it doesn't. The doll looks like Annabelle.
You just said you were constantly chewing on the doll's arms.
You weren't chewing. Like, it's the same way that like a kid gets a towel wet and then just gnaws on it.
What?
Did you not do that? Did you do that, Ina?
You chewed on wet towels.
I would get like the tip of the towel wet, and I would just put it in my mouth and I would suck on it.
Just drink water at that point. Just go
It
downstairs,
was
get
so
a cup
much
of
better
water.
with the taste of the detergent left over.
No. You're like actively poisoning yourself. Just go get water.
No, it was so boring to just drink water when I could have towel water.
Do you realize how much
Chemicals.
unknown substances are on that towel when you just suck on it?
And I do it again.
No.
It was like a baby with a bottle. It was like stimulating. I was
That's
like,
not-
this is the life.
I really don't think that's the same as a baby with a bottle.
Same stimulation, same sensation.
I guess maybe.
Maybe it is. You're sucking, dog.
I don't. Just because you're sucking on something doesn't mean it's the same thing as baby bottle. It's a towel.
Well,
Do you think the person or people, I don't know, who invented towels were just like, one day kids are going to suck on these. That's how we know we've made it. Do you think it was designed for that?
Yeah. No. I think they were designed like, ooh, I'm wet right now. This whole conversation has been like slightly like if you're listening to it out of context, it's kind of sexual. And so I think that's why it's even funnier. Because you're like, do you think they were like making this and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, kids are gonna suck on this?
Well, answer no, because it's a towel. You use it to dry yourself.
Yeah, because you're wet.
Yeah. So what? You dry yourself, then
Then you're
suck
dry.
on a wet towel?
No, you do it before you're dry. So you dip it into water and then you suck it.
So you come, as a kid, I guess you'd bathe. So you come out of the bath. I
go turn on my sink.
You're still
I'd run a
soaking,
corner.
covered in water.
Yeah, I didn't even have the towel around me yet. I'd go and I turn on my sink. I'd dip like the corner of it.
You're not helping your case right now. This is making
I
it
know.
so weird.
I was a weird kid, and that's how I got weird girl Riz.
When I was younger, I stopped taking baths real quickly. I just went straight to showers because as a kid, I couldn't focus on the fact that I was trying to clean myself in the bath. So I would constantly ask my parents for swim goggles when I'm in the bath, just to like be able to see under the water. And so they were just like, no, let's have you take showers now.
I remember I was so excited when I took a shower for the first time because I was like, I'm a big kid. I'm taking a shower. Nobody's here to help me. I'm taking a shower. And I remember when I first started showering because I have Latina genes, okay? So my arms are kind of hairy. And I remember one of the first times I took a shower, I took my mom's razor and I shaved my arms. I shaved my arms.
The first time or one of the first times?
One of the first times, like maybe like a month or two into showering, I shaved my arms.
If it was the first time, that's horrifying.
Oh no, the first time.
I think it's still a little scary that it's within like the first month of you taking a shower.
I was like 8 or 9 and I was just like,
you were going up your arm?
Yeah, I didn't know how to shave. Nobody told me.
Because you were 8 or 9.
Yeah. I remember I would ask my mom, like, how do you shave? And she'd be like, you just shave? She's like, you're not going to do that yet. You're too young. And I was like, watch me.
Oops. I already did it.
I remember, I don't remember if I told her.
Did you cut yourself? How many times did you cut yourself?
I don't think I actually cut myself.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I also like missed major parts of my arm.
Oh.
Like it was like all of this and then I didn't get this.
It was just a really weird shave on your arms.
Yeah. Which made it worse, which made the bullying at school worse, which is why I did it in the first place, was because this little asshole on the playground, came up to me and he was like, you're so hairy. And I was like, no, I'm not. I was. I literally was. It's fine. But also, what an asshole. Like, who knows? He was not one to talk.
He was 8 or 9. Maybe
he had a unibrow. Okay?
Maybe he liked you.
Maybe he did, but
maybe he was like that weird kid logic where like if I'm mean to them, they'll
think about that.
They'll find me interesting.
I think about that moment like almost every month. I replay that moment in my mind.
That little kid
telling me I might. Oh, and then after I shaved my arms, he was like, "You can shave your arms, but you can't shave your legs."
You did not go and shave your legs, did you?
I did.
Oh.
I stopped shaving my arms.
And so the cycle started.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So I think about that. I think about that kid at least once a month. And John Paul, if you're listening to this, you ruined my life.
Whoa.
I haven't talked to that kid since like middle school because I moved away in middle school. So he doesn't even follow me on social media to my knowledge.
He's gonna find this one day and he's just gonna feel so bad.
Yeah, I hope he does.
He's just gonna stay up at night.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
I hope it keeps him up at night.
Man.
Because it keeps me up at night sometimes. Sometimes I'll be in bed and I'll be like, John Paul said that to me. I can't believe John Paul said that.
The name too, John Paul.
Yeah. Pick a struggle. You're going to be named
fancy.
John Paul, but you're going to bully me? Connor's like, it's fancy. And I'm like, pick a struggle. I've stumbled onto that.
There was a guy in my high school where he, like, guys shaving their legs and arms and stuff, if they want to, I'm like, yeah, okay, do so.
Yeah.
And especially, like, if they're swimmers, I get it.
Yeah.
And then, but this guy at my high school, he was really into sports, like football, basketball, those kind of sports. And he comes in one day before classes, and everyone just stopped and looked at him. And I was just like, dude, why did you shave your legs? Because, like, he walked in, he always had, like, gym shorts on.
Yeah.
So the lower half of his legs completely spotless. Like, I mean, he did the whole number.
Was he sparkling?
Like, they were so shiny. And we're like, you shaved your legs? And he goes, well, some of it. And we're like, some of it? He lifts up his gym shorts, and there's still on his thighs all the hair. So it was completely shaven, super shiny legs, and then Sasquatch just right above it.
Sasquatch.
And he didn't do his arms. So it was just the lower half of his legs. If he didn't pull up his shorts, it looked fine, I guess.
Yeah.
But we were like, why did you do that? And he goes, I didn't like the feeling of hair on my legs. And we're like, I hate to tell you, there's still hair on your legs. This isn't going to solve anything. You're actually making it worse.
Yeah.
Because you know how when you sit down and shorts kind of pull up a bit? It was just at the length where if he sat down, you could see a little line of hair. And so many times we tried to get him to at least shave the rest, but he's like, no, that's too high up. And we're like, it clearly isn't because we can see it.
Also, why is that the borderline that you're willing to?
I don't know.
Why is that like? Why are you
I
not
think
just willing to go
personally
the
for
full
me,
9
I would
yards?
feel the hair on my arms more than the hair on my legs.
Yeah.
Because he had weird reasoning. He did it in a weird way. And it was weirdly efficient. Like, you could tell after he shaved, he exfoliated. He was making those legs smooth.
Do you think he put like EOS shave like after cream onto it? I don't know what their lotion is.
I don't know what he did. I wish I had asked, but also I was too uncomfortable to ask. I was like, what do I?
Do you ever have those moments
What
where
do I do
like
here?
you're so curious that you almost ask, but you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then you look back at them later and you're like, man, I should have asked. I should have asked.
Should have asked. Like that was me when I first met you.
Really?
On set?
With what?
With Omnivision. You were like just
No,
so...
but what were you wanting to ask?
Well, you were like in between shots, you weren't quite joking because it was like I don't remember if it was the last day of shooting or the first day of shooting. But I remember the first time I ever saw you laugh was because you were putting leaves into Sienna's hydro flask for a shot.
Yeah.
And you were shoving them in and then you looked like a feral animal at the camera and you were like,
yeah. Well, the film, I was in a very serious role.
yeah.
I was like, I had to be, it was kind of on the lines of
Method
horror.
acting.
So I had to be basically the monster in the short film.
Yeah.
And so like all of the shots and scenes, I had just deadpan face, dead eyes. Like it was, a lot of people said like the shots scared them.
Yeah.
Which like was really good for the film. It worked. But then as soon as the director yelled cut, I would always just like start laughing because I couldn't really do anything during the take. So I was like, I just got to do something now.
I remember you were getting your makeup done at Sienna's house, who was in the film with us.
Yeah.
And I remember I was just like, "What's your name? Hey, what's your name? What are you doing here?"
That was my first semester there. So
Really?
it was, yeah.
Oh, that's why I didn't recognize you.
It was,
I just thought you were like an outside actor that I didn't know.
No, it was crazy. It was my first semester there. So getting onto that film set was kind of how I started to know everyone. And so just being on there before I knew everyone, I was terrified. I was like, man, I'm gonna look so stupid. Like, people are gonna, like, who is this guy?
And then I rolled up with bright blue eyeshadow and like my hair in like a bad side.
Yeah, but it worked
pony.
because it was a period piece on
the 80s.
80s, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say, 80s.
Yeah, and I wore like a thrifted FIFA jacket.
Didn't you have like a side ponytail?
Yeah, it was like really poorly
Yeah, it was
done.
crazy.
It was done.
It looked really good though.
Thanks. I like threw it up in my car before I got out. I have a picture of me in my car from that day, of that I sent to my mom.
Yeah.
And it's like me like.
My hair was not as good as that.
It's okay.
It was
I have
all
the Douglas
messy
picture. Don't
and
worry.
stuff. Yeah, it was all
made
messy.
that. You look like a kind of like a Walking Dead zombie in that picture.
Yeah, I think this was the most accurate description I ever got. I was showing a family I know the film. Well, not a family; their kids were young, but I was showing the parents, and they watch it. And afterwards, the wife just goes, "You look like a zombie version of Jeffrey Dahmer," and I'm like, "That is the most accurate description of that character I've ever heard." Because that was when I had like the longer hair middle part.
Yeah.
And so in filming, when we were doing our makeup, she came and just took my middle part and slightly off-centered it. And then like make the ends all frizzy and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was actually given the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses to see like if it worked for the character or not. But ultimately it was decided that no glasses.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I was told about those glasses. I think somebody asked me what I thought about him, and I said, I think it's a good idea, but you have to see. Like, if it's goofy, yeah.
Right. I think it was, at that point, it was too much like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
To where that point,
and then
the character
Dahmer
wouldn't
had
be anybody
come
else
out, didn't
except
it?
for Dahmer. Yeah. I think it came out like a few months before it.
I think it came out like a month or two before you guys were filming, which is why I was like, this is so Dahmer coded. Even though in pre-production, like I realized that like there was no way for it to like.
Right, there wasn't. It was just
a coincidence.
Yeah.
I think
casting and costume.
Yeah,
made
and
it.
that trend of Dahmer during that period of time too is really interesting.
Oh yeah, I remember.
There's like 3 shows at once that came out.
I remember there were TikToks of the one Ross Lynch was in as Dahmer. And they were like they were making thirst traps of Ross Lynch as Jeffrey Dahmer. And I'm like, you can't do that. Like, do you know who that is?
I think people forget that just because an attractive actor plays a real life person doesn't mean that person
is really attractive.
Yeah. Same thing happened with the Austin Butler Elvis. Where they just made thirst traps of Austin Butler as Elvis. And I was like, you guys.
But he looked a lot like Elvis.
He did look a lot like Elvis. I think I haven't seen Austin Butler's Elvis, so I can't speak on it, but I do think he looked eerily similar to Elvis. But also people making thirst traps of it is like, I could not imagine TikTok having their hands on Elvis in real time.
Oh no.
It's
I still see TikToks of like live Elvis performances. Like back when he was alive, and there are some comments where like, man, Elvis looks too good in this. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Give me a chance, Elvis. I'm on my knees.
It's not current time.
I also just thought about this. Do you think our generation's Elvis is Harry Styles?
Oh man, I don't know. I would say it's a good comparison.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think fan base wise, yes. But I think like actual performer wise, they're a little different.
I would argue that they're pretty similar.
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen Harry concerts? Harry doesn't steal his music though. So
What?
Elvis stole his music. Did you not know that? When he first started out, he stole his music.
Oh yeah, when he first started, yeah.
Yeah. But Harry never stole his. But he was in One Direction, so.
Yeah, he was in One Direction.
He was in a boy band.
Yeah.
Here's
my... also, I think it's unhealthy how much I think about this, but I constantly think about when Harry Styles was on X Factor. When he went on by himself.
Are you telling me you think about Harry Styles?
And then where he was, but not specifically his performance.
Yeah.
It was the moments before his performance.
Where he was like.
Where someone was just talking about like
Harry
him at
Styles.
him in the bakery.
Yeah.
Bakery at the time. And Simon just goes, so what's going down right now? And he says something like just at the bakery.
Mm-hmm.
And then Simon's like, so what's doing good? And he goes, donuts. Everybody loves donuts. I'm like, he was so young
Donuts.
and just so real in that moment.
Everybody loves donuts. I'm Harry Styles.
I'm Harry Styles.
I'm Harry Styles. I was going to say this. I think the Elvis Presley, Madonna, and Cher of our generation. I think that.
Whoa.
I know. I thought about this.
Names.
I've thought about this. I think the Elvis of our generation is Harry.
Okay.
I think the Madonna of our generation, people are going to say Taylor. It's not Taylor. It's Beyonce.
No, it's 100% Beyonce.
It's Beyonce. Are you kidding me? I think the Madonna of our generation is Beyonce. And I think the Cher of our generation is Taylor. I think Taylor's Cher.
Really?
Yeah. Because Cher was more based in like lyrical stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And Madonna was based on like, not spectacle, but like she had a lot of spectacle performances. Like her music is obviously iconic, but a lot of her concerts were spectacle driven.
Right.
Whereas Beyonce's concerts are spectacle driven. Are you kidding me? Have you seen her Renaissance tour clips? Like that is so Madonna. But Taylor Swift is more based on like the actual, yes, she has a lot of, I went to the Eras tour twice, so I can say this. She has a lot of spectacle there, but it's more based on the actual lyrics and the songs.
Man, I don't think I've thought about this enough to have like 3 people.
I think about this all the time.
I think I can see it.
Yeah.
With your picks.
This is my Roman Empire.
Yeah.
This is what I think about.
This is your Roman Empire.
Yeah.
I see so many of those coming up on my For You page.
They're great.
Just like, this is my Roman Empire. But it's really embarrassing that I agree with like half of them.
Yeah. What's your Roman Empire?
What's my Roman Empire?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Other than the Roman Empire, probably, I saw this one the other day, Manor Muppet from the Muppet movie.
That's a good one.
Because that's such a good song.
I think, didn't it win an Emmy or something? Or Grammy?
It did, yeah.
I think it won a Grammy.
It's so funny.
I used to have it fully
Just the
memorized.
fact that song is an award-winning piece of a musical. But, I mean, have you listened to it recently? It deserves every award.
It goes through, like, the existential crisis I feel like all young 20-year-olds go through.
The harmonies in it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
We should duet it one day. And
we should
that
not.
That should be the intro for the podcast.
That is not what we should do.
Am I an
Nope.
Crepidarian? Crepidarian. I don't think we've said the name of the podcast yet.
No, we did at the beginning.
Well, you did.
I did.
Connor took hold and he introed everything, and I just sat here in silence.
You said hi.
I did say hi. I got all up in the mic, and I was like, hi.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's just Manor or Muppet. I would say the Muppet movie as a whole.
I think that was a really good.
That's because every now and again, whenever I'm laughing, in my head I just hear, maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh.
Whenever I'm cleaning my house, I go, mana.
It just brought back the love for the Muppets, you know?
Yeah.
Because
I feel like we lost
when was the last time, like before that movie, when was the last time Muppets got shown? Like, I don't know.
I don't know Muppets lore.
I don't know Muppets lore.
I know
either.
they had an attraction at Disneyland that got cut.
They did. They have a show at Disney World.
Yeah, that's the one they had at Disneyland. The Muppet World 3D.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I go to that now every time I go to Disney World just for the nostalgia.
I would go just for Kermit.
Yeah.
Sexy man.
Oh. The frog?
The frog? Yeah.
The frog.
Have you seen him? He's got that riz.
Kermit does have that riz.
Kermit does have that riz.
He's got, like, they had a show on ABC.
Yeah.
How many girlfriends do you think Kermit had in that show?
At least 7.
7?
7.
I don't know about 7.
Smash or pass, Kermit the Frog. Smash.
Whoa.
Smash. Are you gonna tell me you wouldn't
Are
smash
you
Kermit?
are you saying you're Kermit's next girlfriend?
I'm saying I am Kermit's girlfriend. Yeah. He's the one who actually got me off the dating app.
Oh, that's crazy.
My dad hired
Can't wait
Kermit
to
the
meet
Frog
him.
to rip me off of
Yeah.
Hinge. He said, "Get my girl away
Kermit's
from me."
the dating bounty hunter.
Okay. I'm Kermit the Frog here.
Oh my gosh. That was
A wild way to wrap it up.
Kermit the Frog, dating bounty hunter. What a way to wrap it up. Guys,
All right.
thanks so much for listening to the first episode of Ultracrepidarians.
Ultracrepidarians.
We'll have another episode out in 2 weeks. So thanks for listening, and we hope to see you again.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. Maybe we'll have a TikTok. Follow us there.
Yeah.
Find us on
add us on Spotify.
Add us on Spotify. Find us on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. Wherever you get podcasts, that's where we
Wherever
will
you
be.
get podcasts, that's where we'll be. So feel free to listen whenever and
Wherever.
wherever. See you guys.
Bye.